The wind howled across the white desert of Antarctica. Dr. Taiwan Park pulled his thick coat tighter as he stared at the radar screen. Something was wrong with the readings. "Hyun, come look at this," he called. Hyun Kim, the team's engineer, trudged through the snow to reach Taiwan's side. Her eyes widened as she looked at the screen. "That can't be right," she said. "The radar shows something big down there, about 200 meters below us." It was January 2089. The small South Korean research team had come to study ice cores, not to make history. But the strange radar readings changed everything. "Wake up, Jin-ho," Taiwan said. "He should see this too." Jin-ho Lee was the team's expert on unusual life forms. When they showed him the readings, he rubbed his tired eyes and leaned closer to the screen. "It's too regular to be natural," Jin-ho said. "Those straight lines, that's not how ice forms." The three researchers looked at each other. No one wanted to say what they were all thinking. "We need to drill," Taiwan finally said. The small team worked day and night for a week. They used their ice drilling equipment carefully, making a narrow hole down to the strange object. When they lowered a camera, what they saw made them gasp. That's not human," Hyun whispered. The camera showed a smooth metal surface with strange symbols carved into it. The metal gleamed as if it were new, despite being trapped in ice for who knew how long. "We need to get down there," Taiwan said. The team called for more equipment and help. Soon, 5 more researchers joined them from the main Korean base. Together, they worked to widen the hole. The Antarctic weather fought against them. Storms rolled in, forcing them to take shelter. Temperatures dropped to -60 degrees. Equipment froze and broke. But they kept going. "The ice around the object is different," Jin-ho noticed one day. "It's about 15,000 years old, based on my tests." 15,000 years, Hyun repeated in shock. "Nothing man-made could be that old." "Exactly," Jin-ho said quietly. After 3 weeks of hard work, they had cleared enough ice to reach one side of the object. It was bigger than they had thought, at least 40 meters long. "It's a ship," Taiwan said as they all stared at the sleek hull. "A ship not made on Earth." The team set up lights around their dig site. In the harsh glow, they could see strange markings covering the hull. They were not random. They looked like writing. Hyun ran her gloved hand over the surface. "It's warm," she said in surprise. "The metal is warm." That was impossible. Nothing could stay warm after 15,000 years in Antarctic ice, unless there might be power still running inside, Jin-ho suggested. The team worked even harder after that. They carefully melted the ice around what looked like a door or hatch on the side of the ship. As the last ice melted away, strange lights began to glow around the edges of the hatch. "It's reacting to us," Hyun said, stepping back in alarm. News of their find had spread. Their radios buzzed constantly with calls from governments and military officials around the world. Everyone wanted to claim the discovery. Everyone wanted them to wait for experts to arrive. "If something is alive in there, it might not have time to wait," Taiwan told his team as they gathered in their main tent one night. "I think we should try to open it." "That could be dangerous," one of the newer team members said. "Yes," Taiwan agreed. "But think about it. They've been frozen for 15,000 years. If they wanted to harm us, they could have done it long ago when our ancestors were just starting to build cities." The team voted. It was close, but they decided to try to open the hatch. As Taiwan approached the alien ship the next morning, the strange symbols on the hull suddenly glowed blue. The hatch moved slightly with a hiss of escaping air. After 15,000 years, something was waking up. Everyone stepped back as the hatch on the alien ship moved slightly. Then it stopped. The blue glow faded. "What happened?" Jin-ho asked, his voice shaking. Hyun moved closer to the ship, scanning it with her equipment. The power surge stopped. Whatever system tried to open the door ran out of energy. Taiwan made a quick decision. "We need to get inside." Now, despite protests from officials over the radio, the team set up their equipment around the hatch. Hyun studied the edge of the door, looking for a way to open it manually. "There's a small panel here," she said after an hour of careful work. "I think it's some kind of emergency release." The team watched as Hyun pressed her tools against different parts of the panel. Suddenly, with a soft click, the hatch slid open a few inches. Cold air hissed out from inside the ship. "Everyone, put on your masks," Ta-won ordered. "We don't know what might be in that air." Jin-ho took samples of the escaping gas. "It's similar to our air, but with more oxygen and some gases I don't recognize." 3 team members volunteered to enter first, including Ta-won. They pulled on full environmental suits and attached extra lights to their helmets. As they pushed the hatch the rest of the way open, their lights shone into darkness. "It's a small room," Ta-won reported through his radio. "Probably an airlock." Inside, they found another door. This one opened more easily. Beyond it lay a corridor that curved gently to the right. The walls were smooth and had a soft glow that grew brighter as they moved forward. "The ship is responding to our presence," Hyun said in wonder. "It's turning on lights for us." They moved slowly down the corridor, taking pictures and videos of everything. Strange symbols covered the walls, similar to those on the outside of the ship. At the end of the corridor, they found a large round room. Their lights revealed rows of clear containers along the walls. Each container was about 2 meters long and 1 meter wide. They looked like beds or maybe medical pods, Jin-ho suggested. Tai-won moved closer to one. His light shone through the frosted surface of the container. A shape was visible inside. "There's someone in here," he whispered. The team gathered around. Using their lights, they could see 4 containers that held shapes. The others were empty. Hyun carefully wiped away some of the frost from the surface of one container. What they saw made them all step back in shock. Inside was a human-like figure, but clearly not human. It was tall and thin, with gray-blue skin. Its head was larger than a human's, with no hair. It had 2 arms and 2 legs, but its fingers were long and had an extra joint. Its closed eyes were large, with thin eyelids. It's them," Jin-ho said. "The ones who built this ship." Hyun moved to a panel nearby. Strange lights blinked on it. "I think this controls the containers. They look like some kind of sleep chambers." As she studied the panel, she noticed something alarming. Some of these lights are flashing red. That's rarely a good sign in any technology. Jin-ho checked his instruments. "The atmosphere in those containers is changing. I think their life support systems are failing." Ta-won's radio crackled. It was their base camp. "Dr. Park, we have orders from Seoul. The military is on its way. They want you to leave everything untouched until they arrive." The team looked at each other. Then they looked at the sleeping aliens whose life support was failing. "How long until the military gets here?" Ta-won asked. "At least 3 days with this weather." Hyun was still studying the panel. "I don't think they have 3 days. These systems are shutting down. If we don't do something, they'll die." Ta-won made the hardest decision of his life. "We didn't dig them out just to let them die. Hyun, see if you can figure out how to stabilize their systems. Jin-ho, monitor their life signs. Everyone else, set up our equipment in here." He took a deep breath and spoke into his radio. "Tell Seoul we're assessing the situation, but we will not let these beings die if we can help it." He turned back to the containers, where 4 aliens lay in failing sleep chambers. 4 aliens who had been waiting in the ice for 15,000 years. "Let's bring them home," he said. Hyun worked through the night. The alien control panel was unlike anything she had ever seen, but she noticed patterns in the symbols. Some were flashing faster now, and that worried her. "I think I understand part of this system," she told Ta-won as the sun rose outside. "These 4 buttons might control each sleep chamber." Jin-ho checked his readings again. "The life signs in the first chamber are getting weaker. We need to decide now. Tai-1 nodded. Do it. Open the first chamber. Hyun pressed the button that seemed connected to the first chamber. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the container hummed. The clear top slowly lifted, releasing a cloud of cold air. The team moved closer, their hearts racing. The alien inside didn't move at first. Its chest barely rose and fell with shallow breaths. It's alive, but very weak, Jin-Ho said, scanning the alien with his medical equipment. The alien's large eyes suddenly opened. They were deep black with small dots of gold light in them. It looked at the humans standing around its chamber and tried to move away, clearly afraid. We won't hurt you, Tai-1 said, keeping his voice calm and soft. He raised his empty hands to show he had no weapons. The alien watched them carefully. It was wearing a tight-fitting suit made of a shiny material. On its chest was a small device with lights. The alien touched this device, and it made a series of musical sounds. I think it's trying to communicate, Jin-Ho said. The alien looked around at the other chambers. When it saw the flashing red lights, it made a sudden sound of alarm. It tried to get up but was too weak. It pointed at the other chambers and then made urgent gestures. I think it wants us to open the others, Hyun said. Tai-1 nodded. Do it. Hyun pressed the remaining 3 buttons. The other chambers opened, revealing 3 more aliens. They were similar to the first one, but with small differences. One was slightly taller. Another had darker skin. The third had markings on its neck. The first alien tried again to speak. It pointed to itself and made a sound that sounded like Eum. Eum, Tai-1 repeated. Is that your name? The alien nodded, surprising the humans. It understood the gesture of a nod. Eum pointed to the others and made different sounds. So-min, Da, and Bai. They have names, Jin-Ho whispered. Just like us. Eum looked at the humans, then pointed at them with a questioning sound. Tai-1, Dr. Park said, pointing to himself. Then he pointed to the others. Hyun, Jin-Ho. The alien repeated their names carefully. Its voice was high and musical. The other aliens were waking up now. The one called So-min seemed to be giving orders to the others. Dae, who appeared to be the engineer, went to a wall panel and pressed several controls. More lights came on in the ship. Bai, who watched the humans with great interest, pulled out a small device. It projected a simple image in the air, a circle. Jin-Ho understood. He drew a circle in the air with his finger. Bai then projected a triangle. Jin-Ho drew a triangle. They're establishing basic communication, Hyun said. Eum, who seemed to be the medical officer, checked on the others. When satisfied, Eum approached the humans again. It drew something on the frosted surface of the sleep chamber, a simple picture of the ship, the ice, and stick figures helping other stick figures. The message was clear. You helped us. Tai-1 nodded and smiled. Eum then made a sweeping gesture toward the ship and the aliens, followed by a small bow to the humans. I think they're thanking us, Jin-Ho said. Over the next hours, the aliens grew stronger. They used pictures, gestures, and mathematics to communicate. The humans learned that the alien ship had crashed thousands of years ago. The aliens had put themselves in sleep chambers, hoping someone would find them someday. What they hadn't expected was that the someone would be a species that didn't even exist when they crashed. Humans. 3 days passed. The aliens learned human language with amazing speed. They focused on Korean first, since that was what the team spoke most often. By the 3rd day, Eum could say simple sentences. Earth, different now, Eum said as they sat in the main research tent. The aliens wore special suits that Jin-Ho had made for them. Earth's air was too thick for them, and the gravity was too strong. Yes, Tai-1 agreed. When your ship crashed, humans were very primitive. We lived in small groups and used simple tools. So-min, who was the captain of the alien ship, drew a map of the stars on a tablet. The aliens called themselves the Nari. They came from a planet many light years away. Nari. Explore. Find new friends, so Min explained in broken Korean. Dae, the engineer, was fascinated by human technology. Though it was simple compared to Nari technology, Dae studied everything with great interest. You do much with little, Dae told Hyun as they looked at the team's equipment. Bai, the scientist, spent hours talking with Jin-ho. They compared notes on biology, physics, and chemistry. It was clear that Nari science was far ahead of human science. Your medicine will save many humans, Jin-ho said after Bai showed him some of their medical knowledge. The peaceful exchange of knowledge was interrupted when 3 military helicopters landed near the camp. Soldiers from the Korean army set up a secure perimeter. Government officials arrived with scientists and doctors. A tall woman in a dark suit approached Taiwan. Dr. Park, I'm Director Han from the National Security Office. You disobeyed direct orders. We saved 4 lives, Taiwan replied calmly. Director Han looked at the aliens, who watched the new arrivals with caution. These beings could pose a threat to national security. All your research is now classified. No one talks to the press. More officials arrived from other countries. Everyone wanted to speak with the aliens. Everyone wanted their technology, especially their advanced weapons. Do Nari have weapons? An American general asked during a meeting. Iam, who now understood most human speech, answered, Nari have defense only. No attack others. But you must have weapons on your ships, a Chinese official insisted. For protection. So Min looked sad. Yes, protection needed sometimes, but weapons not important. Knowledge important. The officials weren't satisfied. They demanded to examine the Nari ship. The aliens agreed, but would only allow Taiwan's original team to enter with them. Inside the ship, Dai showed them a small room filled with strange devices. Medicine, Dad explained, can heal many human sickness. Another room held information about growing food in harsh places. Yet another had plans for clean energy that wouldn't harm the planet. Why share this with us? Hyun asked. You just met us. Hyun touched a wall, and it became transparent. Outside, they could see military vehicles and soldiers. Humans afraid of Nari. Think we danger, but we see your hearts. So Min added, first humans who find us. You help when no reason to help. You risk trouble to save us. This show true human spirit. Back at the main camp, tension grew between different countries. Some wanted to take the aliens to their own facilities. Others wanted exclusive rights to the Nari technology. That night, Bai approached Jin-ho privately. Must tell truth now, Bai said in improved Korean. Nari not just 4. Many more Nari sleep. Waiting. More of you? Jin-ho asked, surprised. Where? Bai looked up at the night sky. There. Hidden. Wait for signal. Why tell me this? Jin-ho asked. Because you friend, Bai said simply. And because all humans need know soon. Danger coming. For all. Jin-ho couldn't sleep after what Bai had told him. More Nari waiting in space. Danger coming. He had to tell the others. The next morning, he pulled Taiwan and Hyun aside. Bai told me something last night. The 4 Nari we found are not alone. There are more of them in space, hidden somewhere in our solar system. Taiwan looked shocked. Are you sure? Yes, and Bai mentioned some kind of danger coming. Before they could discuss it further, alarms sounded throughout the camp. Soldiers ran to their positions. 3 large helicopters approached from the north. Director Han rushed over to them. Those are not ours. Someone is trying to take over the site. The helicopters landed, and armed men in black uniforms jumped out. They didn't wear any country's flag. They moved quickly, surrounding the camp. Who are they? Hyun asked. A private military group, Director Han said grimly, working for someone with a lot of money. The leader of the armed men approached with a megaphone. We are taking control of this site and the aliens. All personnel will be safely transported out. Resistance will be met with force. The Korean soldiers raised their weapons. Other countries' forces did the same. The situation was about to explode into violence. Suddenly, So-min walked out of the main tent, followed by the other Neri. They wore no protection suits. So-min, Taiwan called out. Your suits. The air. But the Neri seemed fine without their suits now. They walked calmly toward the armed men. The mercenary leader pointed his gun at So-min. Don't move. So-min raised a small device. A beam of blue light shot up into the sky. Everything electronic in the camp stopped working. The helicopter's engines died. Guns wouldn't fire. Radios went silent. What did you do? The mercenary leader demanded. So-min spoke, now in perfect Korean. We have shut down your weapons. We do not wish anyone to be hurt because of us. Yum stepped forward. We have been studying your languages and your biology. We have adapted ourselves to your atmosphere now. Day added, the device you saw is a simple energy disruptor. It stops machines, not life. The mercenaries looked at each other, unsure what to do without their weapons. So-min spoke again, now addressing everyone in the camp. It is time we shared the full truth. Please, all of you, gather around. The confused soldiers, scientists, and officials formed a circle around the Nari. So-min began. 15,000 years ago, our exploration ship suffered damage and crashed here. 4 of us entered deep sleep while the ship sent a distress signal to our main vessel. Bai continued. Every few hundred years, one of us would wake briefly to check on Earth's development. We watched humans grow from small tribes to great civilizations. Yam said, we decided not to make contact yet. Your wars concerned us. Your division into competing nations made us cautious. Day finished. Our main ship received our signal long ago. But they decided to wait and watch from a hidden position. Hundreds of our people remain in sleep chambers on that ship. Taiwan asked, why tell us this now? So-min looked at the armed men, then at the government officials. Because we see how some humans react to us. With fear, with greed. Wanting our technology for power. But Eom added, looking at Taiwan's team, we also see humans who helped us with no thought of reward, who risked punishment to save strangers. Bai pointed to the sky. Our main ship has been watching everything since you found us. They were ready to leave this system forever if humans proved dangerous. And now? Jinho asked. So-min smiled. Now they wish to meet the humans who dug their companions out of ice. Because those humans showed that your species has something worth saving. Director Han stepped forward. What did Bai mean by danger coming for all of us? So-min's face grew serious. That is why we need your help now. Something follows us across the stars. Something that destroys all it finds. The camp fell silent after So-min's words. Everyone wanted to know about the danger that followed the Nari across space. So-min looked up at the clear Antarctic sky. We call them the Voidborn. They are not like us or you. They are not alive as we understand life. Machines? Asked Taiwan. Yes and no, Day replied. They began as machines, created by a species long gone. But they grew beyond their makers. They think. They plan. They spread. Bai pulled out a small device and projected an image in the air. It showed strange ships, black and angular, moving through space like a swarm of insects. The Voidborn destroyed our homeworld 200 years ago, Eom said quietly. We are refugees, searching for new worlds and new allies. Director Han stepped forward. Why would these Voidborn come here? Earth has nothing to do with your problems. So-min's large eyes looked sad. The Voidborn do not need reasons. They seek out intelligent life and destroy it. Always. We believe they see other thinking beings as competition for resources. How do you know they'll find Earth? A Russian scientist asked. Because they follow patterns of space travel, Dad explained. Our ship that crashed here sent signals into space for thousands of years. And now, your own radio signals spread outward. You're saying we've been announcing our presence to the galaxy? Ta-1 asked. Yes, Bai confirmed. Your television, your radio, your space probes, all tell the Voidborn. We are here. The mercenary leader, who had been quiet until now, spoke up. How long do we have? So Min looked at the man, surprised by his question. 20 of your Earth years, perhaps 30. The camp erupted in argument. Some people didn't believe the Nari's warning. Others wanted to prepare for war immediately. Some blamed the aliens for bringing this danger to Earth. Tai-1 raised his hands for quiet. If what the Nari say is true, fighting among ourselves won't help. How can we fight these Voidborn? Han asked. Our technology is far behind yours, and even you couldn't defeat them. Iam touched Han's arm gently. Alone, neither of our species can win. Together, we might have a chance. Together, Jinho asked. How? We have technology, knowledge, experience fighting the Voidborn, Daz said. You have numbers, resources, and something we have lost. What's that? Ta-1 asked. Hope, So-Min said simply, and unpredictability. Humans solve problems in ways we would never think of. The Voidborn struggle against what they cannot predict. The discussions continued into the night. World leaders were contacted. Video calls were made to the United Nations. Some countries wanted to work with the Nari. Others didn't trust them. The Nari offered to share defensive technology, but refused to provide weapons that could be used against other humans. We will not help you destroy yourselves, So-Min explained. That would make us no better than the Voidborn. Late that night, Ta-1 found Iam looking at the stars outside the main tent. Why did you really come to Earth? Ta-1 asked. There must be many planets without intelligent life. Safer places. Iam was quiet for a moment. We studied thousands of worlds. Most were empty or had only simple life. But we saw something in early humans, a spirit that reminded us of ourselves long ago. And now we see that spirit is still there, but also something more. Iam looked at Ta-1. When you found us in the ice, you could have left us frozen. You could have broken open our ship to take what you wanted. Instead, you saved us. Iam pointed to the stars. The Voidborn are coming, Ta-1. Not tomorrow, not next year, but they are coming. And when they do, Earth will need more than weapons. It will need that spirit we saw in you. The spirit that chooses to save strangers frozen in the ice. 1 month after the Nari revealed the truth about the Voidborn, world leaders gathered in Seoul. They argued for days about what to do. Some wanted to build weapons. Others didn't believe the alien warning. A few even wanted to capture the Nari ship and study its technology by force. Tai-1 watched the debates on television with the 4 Nari in a special facility. The aliens had been moved from Antarctica to a research center in South Korea. They fight when they should work together, So-Min said sadly. That's what humans often do, Tai-1 admitted. But we can also come together when we need to. On the 5th day of meetings, Tai-1 was called to speak to the world leaders. He stood nervously at the podium. I'm not a politician or a general, he began. I'm a scientist who found 4 beings trapped in ice. We helped them because it was the right thing to do. Now they want to help us. He looked around the room. The Nari could have hidden their main ship forever. They could have taken what they needed from Earth and left. Instead, they warn us of danger and offer to share their knowledge. The room was quiet as he continued. I propose we form a team, scientists and experts from many nations, to go with the Nari to their main ship. We can learn from them while showing that Earth stands united. The leaders talked for hours after Tai-1's speech. Finally, they reached an agreement. A team of 12 humans would go with the Nari to their hidden ship. Each major region of Earth would send representatives. Tai-1, Hyun, and Jinho were chosen from the original Discovery team. 9 others were selected for their skills in science, medicine, and engineering. 2 days later, a small Nari shuttle landed in a field outside the research center. It had been hidden on the far side of the moon all these years. "It's beautiful," Hyun said, as she touched the smooth surface of the shuttle. Day explained how the ship worked. "It bends light and gravity to move. No fuel like your rockets." The 12 humans said goodbye to their families. No one knew how long they would be gone or what they would find. "Take care of my dog," Jin-ho told his sister before boarding. The shuttle lifted off silently at night. In minutes, they were in space. The humans pressed against the windows, amazed at the speed. "Earth looks so peaceful from here," Taiwan said, gazing at the blue planet below. "All homes look peaceful from a distance," So Min replied. The shuttle flew past the moon and toward Mars. But they didn't stop there. They continued to the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. There pointed. At first, the humans saw nothing. Then a large asteroid seemed to shimmer and change. What looked like rock was actually a clever disguise. A massive ship appeared, easily 20 times larger than the shuttle. "Our home for the past 15,000 years, Yam explained. The shuttle docked with the large ship. As the humans entered, they saw hundreds of sleek chambers along the walls. Nari technicians were waking them carefully, one by one. A tall Nari approached. From the way the others bowed, Taiwan could tell this was someone important. "I am Han, ship elder," the Nari said in perfect English. "Welcome, humans of Earth." Han led them to a large room filled with strange devices and glowing screens. "This is our library. All the knowledge of our civilization is stored here." The humans stared in wonder. Cures for diseases, clean energy systems, ways to grow food in harsh places. The knowledge could transform Earth. "Why share this with us?" a Chinese scientist asked. Han looked at the human visitors. "Because we watched when you found our lost ones. We saw how Taiwan's team cared for strangers they didn't understand. This told us more about your kind than all our years of observation." The ship elder touched a screen, showing the void-born ships. "To survive what comes, our peoples must trust each other. You dug our companions from the ice. Now we will help dig your world from the danger that approaches." Taiwan felt the weight of responsibility. "We won't let you down." Han's large eyes blinked slowly. "We know. That is why we chose to stay." 5 years passed since the day Taiwan's team found the Nari ship in Antarctic ice. Earth had changed more in those 5 years than in the 50 years before. Cities now had shield domes that could be activated in case of attack. Ships with new engines explored the solar system. The moon had a base with both humans and Nari working there. Mars had become home to the first mixed colony, where 3,000 humans and 500 Nari lived together. Taiwan walked through the Mars colony with So Min. The red planet's surface was visible through the clear dome above them. The lower gravity made the Nari more comfortable here than on Earth. "It's hard to believe how much has changed," Taiwan said. So Min nodded. "When we crashed on Earth, humans had just invented farming. Now you walk on another planet." They entered the colony's main building where Hyun was testing a new shield design with Da. The two had become close friends over the years. Some said they were the best engineering team in the solar system. "Any news from the edge sensors?" Taiwan asked. Hyun's face grew serious. "Yes, the Deep Space Network picked up something 2 days ago. The patterns match what the Nari described." "The Voidborn Scouts," So Min said quietly. "Yes, they're still far away, beyond Neptune, but they're definitely coming." Jin-ho and Eom joined them, bringing data from their medical research. The Nari doctor and the human biologist had made amazing progress combining their knowledge. "We've finished the enhanced healing treatments," Jin-ho reported. "Every colony now has them." Earth's United Defense Council had called an emergency meeting for that evening. Representatives from all major Earth nations would join by video link, along with the Nari leadership. That night, humans and Nari gathered in the Mars colony's meeting hall. Large screens showed faces from Earth and from the Nari ships in orbit. Ship Elder Han spoke first. The scouts we detected are just the beginning. They are testing our defenses, looking for weaknesses. The main Voidborn fleet will follow. Are we ready? Asked the Secretary General of the United Nations. As ready as we can be, Taiwan replied. Every major city has shields. Our combined fleet has 400 ships. The early warning system covers the entire solar system. The meeting continued for hours as they reviewed defense plans. When it ended, most people left, but Taiwan stayed with the 4 Nari he had first met in the ice. I never asked you, Taiwan said to them. Why did you really choose to help us? You could have taken your main ship and fled to another star system. The 4 Nari looked at each other. Iam spoke first. Before we crashed on Earth, we visited 12 other worlds with intelligent life. Most were too primitive to help us. A few were advanced, but showed only interest in our technology, not friendship. Bai added, when we sent out emergency signals from the ice, we didn't know if anyone would find us, or if they did, whether they would help us or just take our ship apart for its secrets. But you dug us out, Dai said. You saved us even though we were strange to you, even though your leaders told you not to. So Min finished. That told us something important about humans. You can be violent, yes. You fight among yourselves, but you also show kindness to strangers. You help those in need, even when there's nothing to gain. Outside the dome, the red Martian sunset cast long shadows across the colony. In orbit above, the combined human-Nari fleet prepared for their first major test. The Voidborn scouts would reach Mars in 3 days. Do you ever regret crashing on Earth? Taiwan asked. So Min smiled, a gesture the Nari had learned from humans. No, if we had not crashed, if you had not found us, both our peoples might face the Voidborn alone. Now we face them together. Hyun joined them at the window. The first ships are moving into position, she said. This is just the beginning. Taiwan looked out at the stars where the enemy approached. He thought of how far they had come since that cold day in Antarctica when they found a strange ship in the ice. We're ready, he said. Yes. So Min agreed. Together, we are worth saving.